Undisputed to see good Manny Patrick.
I do. What I do. We back here in the building, second live for the day. What I do. Let's make sure that sound on point. Let's make sure that sound is on point. Yes, sir.
I do.
Okay, we good. We good out here. Let's we good out here. What they do, y'all? What they do, fam? What they do, fam? What's going on with y'all, man? You're tuned in to the realest motherfucking boxing channel there is, Box or Die. You know what I'm saying? With your host with the most, King David in the motherfucking building, man. If you're new to the channel or this is your first time, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. You heard? Let the peoples out there in the highways and the byways know we talk that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we do here. Y'all know what it is. Make sure y'all let them know, man. We in the building, though. You heard? But we had a nice little scrap go down tonight, man. Josh Taylor versus Jose Ramirez went down tonight. You know what I'm saying? And you know, this was a really good fight. It was, I mean, when I say good, this was a really entertaining fight. But coupled with entertaining, it was also a really meaningful fight. You heard? This fight was for Undisputed. This fight was to determine who the best in the world was or is at 140 pounds. And now we know Josh Taylor is the best at 140 pounds. There's no disputes about it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Josh Taylor is, without a doubt, the man at 140 pounds. You know what I'm saying? All right. Not like 135 pounds with Teofimo Lopez, where there is dispute whether or not he's the man at 135 pounds. But Josh Taylor is the man at 140 pounds. Okay. And that is without a doubt. That is undisputed. The very definition of undisputed. You heard? So, congratulations to Josh Taylor for becoming undisputed. But in addition to that, in addition to us congratulating Josh Taylor for becoming undisputed, we got to make sure we give our kudos to both fighters for not only putting on a terrific show, not only putting on an entertaining fight for the fans, you know what I'm saying? But we got to make sure we give both fighters kudos for stepping in the ring in the first place, okay? For risking it all in such a important fight. Both of these fighters were undefeated. Both of these fighters were unified champions of the world. You know what I'm saying? Both of these fighters had a lot to lose. Both of these fighters had a lot to gain, you know? And despite knowing all that, both fighters came into the game willing and able to not only fight each other, but get the fight done in the shortest amount of time with the least amount of resistance. You know what I'm saying? We didn't hear Josh Taylor talk about he needed an 80% split. You know what I'm saying? We didn't hear Jose Ramirez say you got to pay what you weigh. We didn't hear none of that goofy fanboy talk. We didn't hear none of that stupid ass shit from none of these dudes. All we heard was two fighters that wanted that had something to prove. Two fighters that were ready to step in the ring and prove that they were the best in the world. And that's exactly what the fuck they did. So I got to make sure I give both of these fighters their flowers for not only putting on an entertaining fight, but for risking it all by stepping in the ring with the top quality, the top or the toughest or the best quality competition at 140 pounds. Okay? These dudes deserve respect simply for that much. If nothing else, that much. Something that's such a rare thing in boxing these days, where guys want to fight the best, where guys risk it all in order to prove something. That's what the sport is supposed to be about. Instead, we get these dudes who run from tough competition. We get these dudes who decide that they want to go after this guy and that guy instead of actually proving that they're the best in the world. So kudos for that, man. Kudos for that. You know, and beyond that, Josh Taylor secured he's now undisputed 140 pounds. We got to make sure we give him his flowers. And again, this was a terrific fight. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, at the end of the day, man, even though I give Josh Taylor his flowers for defeating Jose Ramirez and becoming an undisputed champion at 140 pounds, I gotta make sure I take full responsibility for the prediction I gave, man. And you know, I gotta make sure I hold this L. I gotta hold the L, bro. Like I got to. You know, my prediction went wrong, man. It went horribly wrong. The way I thought this fight was going to go, in a lot of senses, it went that way. But I think tonight, Josh Taylor proved that he's a much better fighter than a lot of us gave him credit for. You know, I think that this was a really good test for him. I think that he proved a lot in this fight, you know, by beating Jose Ramirez, but not only beating him, but beating him in the way that he beat him, you know, dropping him twice, being the sharper guy, being the guy landing the cleaner, more effective punches throughout the entirety of the fight, being the guy controlling the distance, being the guy that was just able to control the pace of the fight in spots. Now, don't get me wrong, this was a real tough fight. This was a real gritty, rugged fight, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, Josh Taylor, for the most part, controlled the pace of the fight. He pretty much did what he wanted to do when he wanted to do it. And that's, in essence, how he was able to get the win. You know what I'm saying? You know. But again, back to what I was saying earlier, man, I was wrong because the way that I thought this fight was going to go was not it at all. You know, it wasn't it at all. Like originally, man, I thought that this fight, obviously I picked Jose Ramirez to actually win the fight, right? Now, I picked Jose Ramirez because I felt like Jose Ramirez was going to be, I knew about his technical deficiencies. I knew that Jose Ramirez was, in a lot of senses, one-dimensional. I knew he lacked a lot of technical skills. I knew that he couldn't really cut the ring off very well. He kind of followed his opponents. I knew that he got sloppy at times and he likes to throw punches. And anyone with like a shred of slickness, anyone who was slick, they'd be able to pretty much beat Jose Ramirez up. I just didn't think that Josh Taylor was slick enough or crafty enough to be able to capitalize on those technical deficiencies of Jose Ramirez. Thus, I didn't give Josh Taylor enough credit for his technical skills, you know. Josh Taylor did some things in there that really surprised me, you know. And another thing, you know, as far as Josh Taylor's concerned, like I knew about Josh Taylor's skills. I knew that Josh Taylor was able to fight on the inside. You know, if you go back to my prediction video, I break down Josh Taylor's style very well. I pretty much, he didn't do anything that's like superbly surprised me, but he's better at the things that I said he was good at, he's better at them than I originally thought. I knew Josh Taylor could fight on the inside. I knew that he could fight on the outside. I knew he had a good jab. I knew he could he threw good combination shots. I knew he liked to throw little spurts on the inside, move away. I knew he was one of those guys who was able to kind of do everything well. That's how I classify Josh Taylor. I knew he was one of those dudes who just had the ability to do everything well. But doing everything well doesn't mean you do those things at a high enough level to be able to beat certain types of fighters. Jose Ramirez to me is a pressure fighter. He's one of those balls to the walls type guys. And the level of his pressure skills to me, in my mind, when I was predicting the fight, should have been able to overwhelm Josh Taylor. That's kind of how I seen that fight going. But again, man, I was wrong, man. I was wrong as fuck, man. Josh Taylor is better. I'm still not gonna say he's great at everything. He's definitely not great at everything. He still has some work to do in order to get to that kind of level. But I'm gonna say that he's better at everything than I thought he was. His jab is better than I thought it was. He can fight better on the inside than I thought he could. You know, um, he can pop shot. I saw him use a pull counter in the fight and drop Jose Ramirez. He was just doing little things here and there that surprised me. And again, he's a better boxer than I originally gave him credit for, and thus he was able to cruise on over to a unanimous decision over Jose Ramirez. Now, there's a few things that happened in this fight, man, where you know, the referee, man. I mean, you know, honestly, man, Jose Ramirez could have got stopped in this fight. He could have easily got knocked out. Had the referee kind of back the fuck off in certain parts of the fight. During those knockdowns, the fight could have been over a few times. But I've seen a few fights like lately like that where the ref spends too much time, like even in the Andre fight where when Andre dropped Liam Williams, you know, like the ref spends too much time trying to figure out whether or not the fighter can continue. And it's like during that time, you're giving the fighter a chance to recover, and thus stop. You're preventing the knockout. You know what I mean? You know, and it's the same thing here. Like you're spending all this time trying to figure out, oh, are you okay? Are you ready? Walk forward. Do this, do that. You giving the fighter all these orders, but in the meantime, you're giving him time to recover. So it's like, what the fuck, bro? You're helping him out, and that's what you saw here in this fight. Josh Taylor, as he knocked Jose Ramirez down, man, that could have been the end of the fight, man. Had he just been able to get up in there a little sooner, he could have really knocked Jose Ramirez the fuck out. You know what I mean? That could have been the end of it. But nevertheless, even with that, Jose Ramirez recovered well and was able to continue to fight. And he got dropped the next round. You know what I mean? But even with that, he continued to fight and press on. And Jose Ramirez, man, is one tough motherfucker, man. That's a tough dude. Jose Ramirez is really tough, man, because after getting dropped like that a few times and continuing to fight, and honestly, this was a close fight, man. You can say Josh Taylor coasted later on in the fight, which he shouldn't have done because that could have really bit him in the ass. But you could say Josh Taylor coasted towards the later parts of the fight. But at the end of the day, the scorecards on this fight was 114, 112. The scorecards read 114, 112, man. It don't get no closer than that. That's a close ass fight. That's 7 rounds to 5. And that was unanimous. So that goes to show you that the knockdowns were the only thing that separated Josh Taylor from Jose Ramirez in this fight. So I mean, it's rough, It's rough, but nevertheless, man, Josh Taylor got the win, and it doesn't matter if you win by 1 point, 2 points, or a million points. He won the fight. So again, congratulations to Josh Taylor for winning the fight, man, and getting that unanimous decision and becoming undisputed at 140 pounds. I mean, but let you guys that's up in here right now. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys feel like they should run it back? Do you feel like Josh Taylor should fight Jose Ramirez again? You feel like that should happen again? I for one don't think it was a close enough fight for the rematch to, be ran back. I feel like Josh Taylor definitely did coast towards the later parts of the fight. Maybe he felt like he had it in the bag, or maybe he was just tired. A lot of people like to kind of cop out with it, like, oh, he coasted, he's taking breaks, but maybe he was just tired and punched his stuff out. That could have been it. Josh Taylor, like he was throwing some, he was throwing some heat in those exchanges. So he might have even punched himself out and just had to take breaks later parts of the fight. I think Jose Ramirez overall has probably a better gas tank, you know, and that essentially is why I picked Jose Ramirez to win the fight, because um I thought that Jose Ramirez would just continue to get stronger as the fight went on, and Josh Taylor would continue to get weaker as the fight went on. But if you're Josh Taylor, you're coming forward like that, then it's gonna leave you liable to get caught coming in, and that's exactly what happened. He got caught, thus, it really fucked up the rest of the game plan. Once you get dropped, man, it really fucks up the game plan. Baby Juju in the building. Shout out to you, Baby Juju. If you're new to the channel, man, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Baby Juju says he was getting hit with good body shots. Yeah, man. Who you saying was getting hit by good body shots, Baby Juju? You talking about Josh Taylor, or you talking about Jose Ramirez? Because they both was actually taking some pretty good body shots, man, honestly. You know. But you probably talking about Josh Taylor. Yeah. He was getting hit by really good body shots towards the later parts of that fight by Jose Ramirez. And really slowed him down. Really, his work rate went down. That probably was the game plan, Baby Juju. Really, there probably was the game plan to go to the body early. Get busy, slow Josh Taylor down. He was getting hit with good body shots. Yeah. Josh Taylor. Yeah. That probably was the game plan. Go to the body early. Slow Josh Taylor down, because Josh Taylor has the ability to move. He can box from the outside. So if you're Jose Ramirez, what you want to do is you want to take away his legs. You want to take away his ability to move on the outside, and you want to try to make him fight with you on the inside. If you're Jose Ramirez, you know what I'm saying? Even though Josh Taylor's a better inside fighter, because Jose Ramirez has a better gas tank than Josh Taylor, in my opinion, Josh Taylor would have been able to overwhelm him later on in the fight. You know what I'm saying? Baby Juju says that fight was crazy as fuck, though. I love this sport. Yeah, man, it was a crazy fight, bro. There was a lot of ups and downs in this fight, man. A lot of ups and downs and all arounds, man. And it would have made it even more dope if Jose Ramirez would have been able to drop Josh Taylor, because he hurt him a few times, like real bad. He hurt him a few times really bad, where I thought Josh Taylor was going down. So if he would have been able to drop him, if we would have been able to see like them exchange knockdowns, that would have made this fight probably like perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like that would have made this fight like damn near perfect. If they was able to trade knockdowns, that would have been the shit right there. Yeah, man, I love this sport too, Baby Juju. This sport is the shit, man. This is the only sport where you see that type of stuff, man. You know, the only type of sport like that. You know, hell of a damn fight. You know, but yeah, man. I mean, and Baby Juju says, hell yes, that would have made it fight of the year. I agree, absolutely, man. Yeah, man. If Jose Ramirez could have dropped him, that would have been fight of the year, hands down, man. Because they was going at it, man. They was throwing bombs. They was both looking to win. Nobody came to lay down. It was a war. It was a war. It was a war. And you don't see, it was a war, man. That was a dope ass fight, man. We need more of those. The sport needs more of those. It looked like we're gonna get some of those. We got a few fights coming up that I feel like are gonna be wars. I feel like that Pacquiao Spence fight is gonna be a real good fight. I feel like that's gonna be a war. I'm not sleeping on Manny Pacquiao at all. I feel like he's coming to fight, and I feel like he's gonna give Earl Spence a hell of a fight. You know, same thing like Wilder Fury 3. That's gonna be a damn good one, my damn self. I I kind of like how Zapita's last fight against the Russian dude. Yeah, man. Yeah. That was a good one too, man. Them dudes going at it, going to war, going to war. Those are the type of fights I like, man. Uh, you know, when you say the Russian dude, man, I think about that fight with one of the best fights, man. And I know a lot of people hate Tim Bradley for it, but go back and watch Tim Bradley versus Ruslan Bravagnikov, man. That was a good fucking fight, man. Another fight where it was like a war, where Tim Bradley was getting hurt and man, a good fucking fight, man. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Baby Juju says, hell yeah, man. Who you got? Pac versus Spence. That's gonna be a tough fucking fight, man. I don't think a lot of people realize it. I feel like it, and I did a live earlier talking about this fight, man. Pac and Spence. But I feel like, honestly, I feel like this is a very difficult fight for Earl Spence fighting a Manny Pacquiao. I feel like Manny Pacquiao made the right decision going after Earl Spence and not Terrence Crawford. I feel like it didn't make sense for Manny Pacquiao to fight Terrence Crawford. You know, I feel like the 40 million, that whole 40 million that he requested for Terrence Crawford, I feel like he just threw out a number. And then when they tried to make it work, he was like, "Oh, well, you gonna try to make that work for me?" And he was kind of like on board with it. You know what I'm saying? But when he realized the money wasn't coming through, he was like, "All right, well, let's go back to this Errol Spence route." I think that that's a better fight for him, a much more winnable fight. He's going to be able to give Earl Spence the angles. He's going to be able to use the speed on Earl. For Earl, the speed ain't there like that. The speed ain't there like that. He's gonna be able to use the angles. He's gonna be able to use the speed. He's gonna be able to use the footwork. See, and here's the thing about Manny, man. Manny has the footwork. Manny has the footwork, man. Earl doesn't necessarily have. Earl is very flat-footed, man. Very flat-footed. And Manny, man, I'm telling you, bro. I damn near might pick Manny in that fight. Manny's gonna be the underdog in this fight, but I damn near might pick Manny. I damn near might put some money up on Manny. For real, for real. You know, Earl's the bigger guy. Earl has been more active, you know what I mean? But like the Manny has showed us time and time again that he's able to dominate fighters like Earl Spence, fighters that are flat-footed, one-dimensional, you know what I'm saying? People like that. Um, Baby Juju says, I watched that fight 2 days ago. Oh, yeah, Brock Bognikov and Tim Bradley. Yeah, that was a damn good fight, man. That was a damn good fight, man. My guy Terry Smoot Jr. in the building. What's going on with you, Terry Smoot? Yes, sir. We in the building. We cooking. What's going on with you, Terry? You know what I'm saying? How you feel about that fight, Ramirez versus Josh Taylor, Terry? How you feel about that? You know what I'm saying? Baby Juju says, facts, I agree with that. And it seems like Earl has one gear in the ring. I got Manny to win, but if Earl wins, I'm not gonna be surprised. Yeah, man, me too, man. I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you, bro. If Earl wins that fight, I mean, it's not surprising. Earl's the younger guy, Earl's the fresher guy, you know. Earl has skills too. He's not like a bum, you know what I'm saying? He's not a guy with no skills. He has the tools to be able to beat somebody like Manny. But what Earl is lacking in is are the things that Manny is able to fully take advantage of. You know what I'm saying? I love how I put that. I love how I put that because it's so precise. What Earl is lacking in, Manny is able to fully take advantage of. Okay, that footwork, okay, the flat-footedness of Earl, the having to go in a straight line, you know, the lack of head movement, okay, the fact that Earl Spence is kind of slow with his hands and Manny can go in and go out, you know, those little things like that. Those are the kind of things that Manny Pacquiao loves in his opponents, you know. Those are kind of things that Manny Pacquiao loves with his opponents, man. He loves that shit. He loves that shit. He loves guy. He loves Margarito. Earlier, oh shit, baby Juju. Earlier in the last live I did, I literally compared Earl Spence to a more skilled Antonio Margarito. You know what I'm saying? That was literally my comparison. You know, and I feel like you know the fight may go similarly. You know, Earl ain't that bad. We not. I'm not trying to shit on Earl, but just like you said earlier, baby Juju, the fact that Earl has one gear and he stays in that one gear per fight, you know, later on in the fights, he tends to, sometimes he does tend to turn it on a little bit more, you know. Sometimes he does like turn it on just a little bit more, just a little bit more, not a lot more. It's not, you can't call it a official a gear change. You know, it's really the same gear, just like just a slightly elevated version of it. You know, and that's only when he feels like you gonna stop, like he gonna stop you. You know what I'm saying? Is when it comes to that. But you know, Earl, you know, the same deficiencies that Margarito has, Earl got them. Earl got them. Manny gonna be able to give him those angles. Manny gonna be able to jump in and out. You know, Earl's not the best time counter puncher. He can counter punch, but he's not the best. His timing's not the best either. He doesn't cut the ring off that well. Manny will be able to run around the ring pretty freely, jump in and out. You know, this is gonna be a tough fight for Earl Spence, and it makes all the sense in the world for Manny to take that fight. You know what I'm saying? Baby Juju says I agree with you 100%. Yes, sir. That's a perfect comparison. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Earl is a great fighter, though. He is a great fighter, man. He is. He is. He is a great fighter, man. He got the skills. Like Earl got the skills to be able to win. Earl got the skills to be able to win, man. But you know, again, the technical deficiencies that Earl displays are exactly what fighters like, exactly the things that Manny Pacquiao likes to exploit. And Manny, he said it. I mean, he even said it. I wonder if I can find that video. He even said it. He said speed will be the key. You know, he always says that before he fights somebody. He go, and you know, and earlier I did a live talking about the Earl and Spence fight. I felt like that was always the play, right? I felt like Earl and Manny was always the play by PBC, right? First of all, let's not forget that Manny walked in the ring on the last Earl fight. I think, was it the Danny Garcia fight that that Manny got in the ring with Earl Spence? You know, so I feel like Manny's been eyeing Earl Spence for a while. He's been looking at him. You know what I'm saying? Baby Juju says facts. Exactly what you said about Earl brings back to his fight against Kill when he was down and he turned up just a little bit more. Yeah, man. Just a little bit more, bro. Just like a little bit. And that's only because he felt like he was gonna stop Kill, you know, because Kel started acting like, you know, the eye thing was bothering Kel, and he was blinking a lot, and he was looking like he was hurt. And Earl turned it up a little bit because he felt the stoppage coming, but he still didn't even knock Kell Brook out. You know what I'm saying? He still didn't even knock Kell Brook out. You know. But let me see if I can find that video with Manny stepping in the ring. Manny been eyeing dude for a while, bro. Hold on, let me see if I can. See if I can find that, man. Was that after the Sean Porter win? Hold on. Here we go. I think this is it right here. All right, here we go.
Errol is with Heidi.
Thank you very much, Kenny. Errol, when you walk out in front of these 47,000 fans, that pyro, that band, I know you want to... Manny, you're being requested here, center of the ring.
He been here.
Now we know how this shit go because we remember Terrence Crawford showing up at an Earl Spence fight and not being able to get close to the ring. You know what I'm saying? Not being able to go get anywhere near the ring. And then if we think back, we see this. We see this play going on the whole time. You know? So this fight to me was always being set up. I don't know how anybody ever thought anything otherwise. You know? I'm not going to pretend like I knew that fight was going to get done, but I think Manny always had every intention of fighting Earl Spence. Look,
Before he broke records here before, he's a legend of the sport, and it'd be my honor to fight him next.
Is that the fight you want next, Manny?
Yeah, why not? I mean, we'll give the fans a good fight.
Would you want to do it right here in AT&T Stadium? I saw Mr. Jones. I don't know where he went.
In Dallas, and then I'm hoping that I will be back here.
see, dudes act like they don't remember that. You know what I'm saying? Dudes act like they don't remember that. But I remember. You know what I'm saying? I remember that shit. You know? Baby Juju says, laughing, that was trying to kill Crawford. Kill Crawford for that. They was trying to kill Crawford for that. Yeah, man, they would somebody wrestled Terrence Crawford to the ground, cuffed him. Man, they wouldn't let Terrence Crawford nowhere near that damn ring. But yet Manny Pacquiao was not only able to get inside the ring, he's able to stand face to face with Earl Spence. You know, this was the play all along, bro. You know, this was the play all along. You know, I don't really buy nothing else, really. You know, I don't really buy nothing else. I'm not gonna pretend like I knew for a fact that was gonna happen. But as I look at things in retrospect, this was always the play. And Manny had every intention. Manny's been looking at this dude, man. Manny's been looking. Manny has been saying speed. Let me see if I could find that. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. Y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Manny been talking about speed is key with Earl. He been talking like that. He ain't never said no shit about that, like about Terrence Crawford. Never. He ain't never say no speed was key with no Terrence Crawford. You know? But Earl Spence he's always talked about that. He's always talked about that. But back on point, man. Back on point. And yes, Baby Juju spooked. Absolutely. Baby Juju says they let out the red carpet for Pac to come in, though. Yes, they did. Pac escorted him in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Come in. They grabbed him, lift him up to they opened up the ropes for him, Baby Juju. Baby Juju, they split the ropes for him so he can climb in without hurting himself. They made a way for him in the crowd. They parted the way. You know what I'm saying? The whole red carpet, man. I mean, shit. Terrence Crawford got close. Oh, the camera didn't even want to capture Terrence Crawford at the fight. You know what I'm saying? You had to find out Terrence Crawford was there from other news channels.
Sean Patel here with the great
hold on.
division world champion, Mr. Tim Bradley, the best commentator in the game, along with DeAndre Ward.
Man, Ward is the best commentator.
Both of you guys, man. Both of you guys.
Yeah,
man.
Ward is dope, man. I love my man Sean Porter. I love what he's doing over there with Fox.
What the hell? I don't know how that played. That's bullshit. Sorry about that, y'all. God damn. Yeah, they let out the red carpet for him, man. But back on point, man. Back on point. Jose Ramirez, Josh Taylor. Jose Ramirez, Josh Taylor. You know what I'm saying? You know, ultimately, man, I think that this is a big win for Josh Taylor becoming undisputed. You know what I'm saying? This was a big win for Josh Taylor becoming undisputed. But I think that, you know, now that this fight is over, man, Josh Taylor has a lot of decisions on what to do in the future, man. So we're gonna talk a little bit about what Josh Taylor's future looks like, man, because he has a lot of options right now. He got a lot of options. He got people looking at him from 2 different weight classes, along 3 different weight classes. You know what I'm saying? Baby Juju says facts, LOL. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, man. We got people looking at Josh Taylor from 2 different weight classes. We got Teofimo Lopez talking about he want to go up and fight Josh Taylor. You know, we got Tank Davis up at 140 talking about he want to fight the winner of Taylor Ramirez after he gets through Mario Barrios. So that's, of course, if he gets through Mario Barrios, which I feel like he will. You know what I'm saying? You got Jose Ramirez, who's probably going to want a rematch. You heard? I'm sure Jose is going to want the rematch. You got and then you got Terrence Crawford up there at 147 pounds. Now, you know, Bob Arum's been really pumping the Ramirez Taylor thing. You know, I mean, Ramirez Taylor winner fighting Terrence Crawford thing. I think that's just one of Terrence Crawford's biggest options. I think, you know, there was some news that came out where Terrence Crawford was saying, you know, he was looking at Ramirez Taylor winner. He was looking at Virgil Ortiz, and he's looking at some other guys over there on Top Rank side. You know, he gave out his little list of people, you know. So, you know, Baby Juju says Jose should fight Regis. That'd be a good one. I'd like to see that one. Jose should fight Regis. Yeah, that'll be a good one. You know, Regis, you know, they both coming off of losses. Yeah, well, Regis just beat Ivan Redcash, but that don't really count. You know, so that'd be a good little fight. That'd be a good little fight, man. But, you know, Josh Taylor, what does he do next, though? Does he go up and fight Terrence Crawford? Does he stay at 140, fight Tank, or fight Teofimo Lopez? Does he do a couple of defenses of that undisputed belt, or does he go up right away? I think Bob Arum is definitely going to be pushing him to go up right away. He probably wants to feed him to the winner of feed him to Terrence Crawford, because Terrence Crawford needs a big fight. But if you're Josh Taylor and you just want undisputed, maybe you might want to look at a Tank Davis fight. You know, a dude that came up a weight class. You know, maybe you might want to look at a fight like that. That's a very winnable fight for Josh Taylor. You know, Tank Davis. You know, but I don't think Bob Arum's gonna let that happen, especially considering all the fuckery that's going on at 147 pounds. You know, with this whole Pacquiao Spence thing, I doubt Bob Arum is gonna let his undisputed champion fight a Tank Davis. I doubt that shit's gonna happen. You know, I don't see that happening at all, actually. You know, Teofimo's an option, but I doubt Teo gets the fight, because right now Teofimo is not in Bob Arum's good graces. You know what I'm saying? You know, with all the shit he got going on, with everything with Triller and all this shit and doing things that, you know. So I'm pretty sure Bob Arum is probably going to push Josh Taylor to go up and fight Terrence Crawford, which is a really good fight. Baby Juju says, what about Josh versus Teo? Josh versus Teo, man, I mean, that's a pretty good fight, man. I think Josh Taylor will beat Teo, though. I think Josh Taylor will beat Teo. I think Josh Taylor will be able to use his size more with Teo. He'll probably fight a little bit more on the inside with Teo. I don't see Teo's inside game that good. Tio at those lower at 135 is used to being the bigger guy. He's used to being the longer guy. And in a fight with Josh Taylor, he would be a little smaller. You know what I'm saying? He'd have to fight up. He'd have to throw those jabs up. You know. And Josh Taylor has showed that he has the ability to fight different ways, but not only fight different ways at very high levels. You know what I'm saying? Baby Juju says, I think so too. And T.O. gets hit a lot. He does get hit a lot. He does. And, we saw that Josh Taylor has power, man. Josh Taylor got legit power, And even if he didn't have power, when you're getting hit with punches you don't see, you know who Josh Taylor kind of reminds me of, man? The way he fights a little bit. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Andre Ward. The craftiness of him. Andre Ward was one of those dudes who he's not slick at all. Just like Josh Taylor, he's one of those dudes that just kind of had the ability to do everything very well. And whatever you didn't like, he would do it. He would do it and then switch to something else. And then do that for a little bit. And then when you got comfortable with that, he'd switch to something else. And he would do just enough to be able to win fights. It was kind of like how Andre Ward is. That's how Josh Taylor kind of reminds me of. So to me, if you're gonna be anyone who's gonna be a Josh Taylor, to me now after looking at this fight, it's got to be somebody who's gonna be really good at everything, great at everything. Terrence Crawford is great at everything. Josh Taylor to me is really good at everything. So for somebody like T.O. who's one, maybe two-dimensional, he just doesn't have the dimensions to be able to beat someone like Josh, and he's little on top of that. You know what I'm saying? Baby Juju says, I can agree, just a weird, crafty fighter. Yeah, man. He's just one of those dudes, man. And Andre Ward, man. Andre Ward was one of those dudes, man, who would just, bro, like you would see him just close the distance, like he would just hop inside. Like, remember what he did to Kovalev? Like, a lot of people were scared of Kovalev, man. They were scared of Kovalev's hands. Kovalev was knocking everybody out from pillar to post. Andre Ward would just jump inside of that power, man, and he would just dig on the inside, man, and just do little things here and there to just aggravate the shit out of Kovalev. That's how Josh Taylor is to me. I mean, he's not quite that adept at it. Like an Andre Ward, you can't really per se put him in that category. But as far as the mindset, as far as the skill sets, being able to do different things, being able to make fighters uncomfortable, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I rate him. Andre Ward had great timing. Yeah, man. Baby Juju says Andre Ward had great timing. He really did. He had really good timing, man. Really, really good timing. And just, yeah, man, really, really good timing. He did everything really well. Knew how to place his shots, knew how to counter punch, knew how to just do everything, man. I mean, to me, Crawford is the only one who's beaten him out of everybody, out of all of Josh Taylor's options. T.O., I think he beats Tank too. I think that's a tougher fight, but I think he beats Tank too. Tank, T.O., Ramirez if they fight again. Josh beats everybody, but he goes up to 147, and it's a whole nother story. He goes up to 147, it's a whole nother story. So I mean, we'll see. Hey, man, I'm going to drop this link, man. Anybody that want to hop on here, chop it on up. Terry Smooth, I know you in the building. I'm going to go ahead and drop this link, man. So, drop on here. Hold on a second. Copy invite link. Copy. There go the link for y'all. Baby Juju says, I think Crawford stops Josh in 8. Yeah. Yeah. Because everything Josh can do, Terrence can do better. You feel me? Like, like Terrence Crawford can fight on the inside better. He can fight on the outside better. You know what I'm saying? He has a better boxing IQ. And he can fight orthodox and southpaw. You know, Josh Taylor has a lot of dimensions, but Terrence Crawford has more dimensions. And he's bigger. You know? And and he's better at everything. I think I think that's that's definitely gonna be a mismatch. It's a tough fight, but it's a mismatch. You know what I'm saying? Baby Choo cracking up laughing. Yes, sir. Hey, it's the truth though, man. I don't really sugarcoat things, man. You know straight from the chest. You heard? Straight from the chest, man. I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing. Right, not around here. Let me give it to you raw. You know what I'm saying? And Terrence is just better at everything. He just is. And Terrence, he beats Josh Taylor. He deserves full credit for it. He deserves full credit for it. But he's not gonna get full credit for it. But he deserves full credit for it because Josh Taylor just proved that he's a hell of a fighter. He proved that he's the best fighter at 140 pounds. But in addition to that, he got in there with a dude and Jose Ramirez who came to bring it, who brought it. Fuck all that. Baby, did you say keep it 92 plus 8? Yes, sir. It's what we do around here. We always keeping it 1,000 wow around here. Always, man. You know. It's crazy though, man, because the fanboys always hit my channel talking about thinking I'm hating and shit like that. It's like, bro, I'm not hating, bro. I'm just keeping it 1,000 wow. I ain't gonna be over here kissing nobody ass. About to kiss no grown man ass. Fuck I'm talking about. I know boxing. I'm just telling like how it is, man. That's all there is to it. Thing about it is when you stop keeping it 1,000, when you start trying to pander and shit like that, that's when you really put your foot in your mouth. I rather motherfuckers fuck with me for keeping it 1,000 wow than people fucking with me for saying shit that they like me to say. You know what I'm saying? Because one day I'm gonna fuck up and say something you don't like. It's gonna happen. Tis what it is. Tis what it is, man. Baby, did you say these dudes be weirdos? Facts. These dudes do be weirdos, my boy. I'm trying to tell you all day, bro. These dudes be up on here commenting the most weirdest shit ever, bro, that you would ever think in life. The most weirdest shit ever, bro. And it's like, yo, sometimes you gotta let motherfuckers just rock. Like, all right, bro, you got the juice. You got the juice. Like for real, for real. You can't argue with these dudes, man. Can't argue with them. Don't make no sense to argue. What they say when you argue with a fool, when somebody's looking from a distance, they can't tell. If you argue with a fool, somebody looking at both of y'all from a distance can't tell the difference between. You know what I'm saying? Y'all both look like fools. I fucked up the saying, but you get where I'm going with the goddamn shit. You get where I'm going with it, man. You get where I'm going with it, man. All in all, man, this was a hell of a fight, man. This was a hell of a damn fight, man. I'm thankful that boxing got this. This is what boxing needs. This is what boxing needed. These are the type of fights that elevate the sport. These are the type of fights that need to happen. I'm just thankful for these dudes, man. Both Jose Ramirez and Josh Taylor for stepping in the ring with each other and getting the fight done, man. Getting the fight done, but not only getting the fight done, coming in and giving us a great fight. You know what I'm saying? A fight that we're gonna remember. Jose Ramirez, I'm sure he's gonna go on and have a great career. You know what I'm saying? After taking this loss, he can bounce back. He's still a young dude, man. He can bounce back. Maybe some of these dudes that are challenging Josh Taylor, maybe they could fight Jose Ramirez first, you know, because Jose Ramirez, I mean, Josh Taylor can't fight everybody at the same time, you know, like dudes like Tank. Maybe Tank might want to jump in the ring with Jose Ramirez, you know. Maybe T.O. should fight Jose Ramirez, you know. Maybe these dudes might want to consider that as opposed to, you know, I mean, if they can get Josh Taylor in the ring, you can get Josh Taylor in the ring. But if you can't get Josh Taylor in the ring, why not fight a Jose Ramirez and get your name out there? You know, if you serious about making a run at 140 pounds, if that's what you're serious about, at the end of the day, Jose Ramirez is the number 2 guy at 140 pounds. It is what it is. You know. Baby Juju says exactly. We seen a classic fight, and I wouldn't mind seeing Jose fight the other dudes for real. He was doing his thing. Yes, he was, man. You know, minus those knockdowns, man. We probably could have saw a draw. You know, we probably could have saw a draw. We probably could have saw Jose Ramirez win the fight because Josh Taylor really let his foot off the gas. He really let his foot off the gas, man. And you know, I mean, you know, some people say let his foot off the gas, but maybe just got tired, really. Maybe just got winded. So you take away those knockdowns, and this is we having a whole other conversation about what's going on. So all these dudes, T.O., these dudes like that, man, why don't y'all fight Jose Ramirez? If you can't get Josh Taylor. And T.O., I mean, you know, T.O. talking all this shit about fighting Josh Taylor, but you got guys in your division you ain't fought yet. You got guys in your division that's been calling you out. You got guys in your division that's been calling your name. What you over here talking about Ramirez Taylor winner? Like what is you really doing? What are you really doing, man? Like you got Devin Haney in there with a belt calling himself a champion in a division that you supposed to be king at. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is that all about? Baby Juju says, I think he got hurt a few times and he was respecting that power and work rate. Yeah. Oh, he definitely got hurt a few times, man. Oh, yeah, for sure. He definitely got hurt a few times. But he proved he had a chin, man. Josh Taylor, if anything, man, because he got hit with some good shots. He proved he has a nice chin. You know, he wasn't going down like no sissy. You know what I'm saying? He stayed in there. You know, he's a really crafty dude, man. Josh Taylor. He's really crafty. I really give him Andre Ward. I really get Andre Ward vibes from him. Just the ability to stay in there and do what needs to be done in order to win. I get those kind of vibes from him. He's not as crafty as Ward, but I get that. I get those type of vibes from him. You know? And he's gonna beat a lot of these dudes because he's gonna give the dimensions that he's going to put forth. People aren't going to be able to keep up with. He gets in there with Terrence Crawford, he loses. But you know, Baby Juju says, I think they said he never got dropped before. Yeah. Oh wow, is that right? Never got dropped before? Well, I mean, I could believe it after seeing the shots that he took from Jose Ramirez. Like Jose Ramirez hit him like real clean a few times, man. Real clean, man. And it wobbled him a few times and he never fell to the ground. So I mean, you know, that's not that hard to believe for me. That chin officially has a stamp on it. That chin has officially been tested. You know, because Jose Ramirez got good power. Jose Ramirez got good power. Very good power at 140 pounds. You know? Very good power at 140 pounds. You know? But yeah, man, you know, all in all, man, we got a real good fight, man. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this motherfucker up, man. Ain't nobody hit that link. He got a beard on him. Facts. Yes, sir, Baby Juju. But I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this motherfucker up, man. You know, if you haven't already, man, y'all make sure y'all like the video. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the channel, man. We always out here talking boxing, you know what I'm saying, all day, every day. I'm gonna be back live tomorrow, man. I'm gonna be talking about Tyson Fury versus Deontay Wilder. I haven't talked about that fight. Got to do a whole live about that shit, man, because it's that important to the sport. And you know, I got some very interesting thoughts I want to bring forth to that. So, you know, I'll be back live tomorrow. But you know, hey man, you know, we do this all day, every day. The realest motherfucking boxing channel there is. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe, like the video, like the channel, man. But until next time, man, I'll holler at y'all. Peace.